Hi, and welcome back. This is another sidetracked with how, where some people mingle, I get sidetracked. So today, what I want to do is to show you the outside of that castle base that I mentioned last time. This is what me and a couple of other people built, mostly the other people. I contributed a little bit to it, but yeah, most of the work was actually done by the other guys on the server. So, what we're going to look at today is looking here as you come in. It's a pretty standard entry. You've got a kill zone, you've got murder holes. It's all good. So, coming out of the airlock into the castle proper, you have the central keep, which the previous castle owner, this was actually his house and base. You have a smithy area where, basically we were doing all of our forging, general storage. If you notice, the buildings themselves are not overly secure. Basically, the castle relies on the walls to really be the center of protection. The rest of this is logistical, trying to keep things organized. So what we did is they designated areas, put in the things that related to that area. So here you have the kitchen, various storage. Each of these are actually working. They operate as a campfire, which was really nice. It adds a little bit of ambience to the whole thing. The refrigerator. The ever important water supply. Oops. So you basically had everything that you really needed to survive, and because of the way it was being run, it was operating pretty much as a co-op. Everybody contributed. You took what you needed, put back what you gained. If you were out mining, you would share your resources with everybody else. Everybody who contributed to the base and the upkeep of the base got a private building area. Used the house that eventually became the giant underground keep that you saw. This one was my neighbor. Unfortunately, he hasn't played in quite some time. He also has a small basement area in there. Basically, it was his bed and one storage box. But this keep, this was a lot of work. What's frightening is that nothing in here was spawned by the GMs, or to my knowledge used the infinite iron exploit. Well, I shouldn't say exploit. Creative use of iron and iron reproduction using the trussing. All of this was raw mined resource. Coming in the center here, this was the council meeting room area. Really meant to impress. We'll get through the doors there in a minute. One of the defensive corners. There's a defensive post like this in each corner of the castle, as you can see. And again, this was just really to keep an overlap in the coverage in case we did have another breach. Coming back down the hallway, this is just access pathing into the other turret areas, but it also doubles as the ability to do repairs without having to go outside. So we could actually repair the walls in the case of a prolonged massive zombie horde. We were one of the servers that actually did have the spawning glitch where the hordes would, in certain cases, not stop spawning. I think the longest case of that we had was about 3 hours of constant hordes, by the end of which they actually had to reboot the server simply because of the fact that there was no resources left on our guys and we just could not keep defending at that point. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's unfortunate, I actually do miss hanging out with the crew that helped build all of this and did most of the work on it. So heading up to the second floor. Yeah, so it was a lot of good times, and a lot of good memories with the folks that were here. So looking out here, Maybe I should put something in there. Yeah, so we could defend the front door if, in the case of human attackers. We have the overlap areas. Let's come back in here. Again, that's the overlook position. The second story of the towers, where you can actually see for really good distance in all directions. Originally, there was a different prefab in this area, but when there was an update, they did a map merge, and in the map merge, the new prefabs replaced the old. Oops, missed him. Sorry, certain zombies I just don't like, and that's one of them. So yeah, it was an interesting thing. And then this was the grand meeting room, private area for the locals, including hot tub. Okay, not hot tub, but pool. We called it a hot tub. Push. It's our imaginations. We can do what we want. If you prefer, think of it as a big bowl of zombie soup. Alright, and then heading up even further, you get out into the battlements. This does go all the way around. The central piece here was the private residence for the castle owner. Was also one of the server administrators. Like I said, unfortunately, he doesn't really play anymore. He's moved on to other games, but has been known to make a reappearance once in a while. So we try to keep it up for him. Another private residence. My understanding of the story on this one, the person who helped build a lot and who helped gather a lot of the basic resources for the castle and the castle walls was given him an area and said, hey, yeah, build what you want. So he did. So the warning after he had built this for everybody else was, yeah, don't build that. The open air pool again. The nice thing about this is that it did offer not just a great view, but in the cases where we had issues with the roaming hordes, you know, it gave us a lot of ability to protect and defend against both raiders and the zombies. Raiders not so much an issue because of the transition of the server over to a fully enforced PvE server. But every once in a while you'll get an upstart that comes in and thinks that the GMs and the admins can't find them, but they're wrong. So yeah, this is the basic castle. As you notice, in each of the corners on the outer walls there's a defense tower. All of the towers are reinforced concrete from base to peak, and then they have just a regular concrete roof in most cases. Just depends on what area it's in and what happened to the building. The standard spike defense and more overlapping fields of fire, just in case there is a rush at any of the walls or any of the gates. At some point I will probably come back to this if I can find the time before the Alpha 11 hits and we get the map wipe. I would like to come back and actually try and finish the last two towers. The previous owner basically finished the first tower and put up the walls for the second tower. I finished the second tower and I have not gotten a chance to start on the third and fourth yet. One of the other things you'll see here is this was our tree farm. And then we had an actual crop farm in a secure area. And basically I added a bunch of defenses to both of these since I don't stay in the area often enough to actually defend it. Kind of wanted a little bit of an automated defense piece. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and stay up to date on what's going on, and that way you get notices when the new videos come out. Thanks again for getting sidetracked with me. I hope you enjoyed your time. I'll talk to you all soon, and stay safe out there.